We talked about modernity last time, and we said that people affected by media a lot, unconsciously. That's lead to a lot of things. We'll talk about just after a while. So what's your role in family, as you think? Number 3, who's your role models? When we talk about role models, you can understand the level education, the inspiration. Then talk about the work after marriage. Don't hide that to after marriage. Because why this is very important? Because when women work, there is no problem in that. But when women get the children, there is here a big problem of balance. Would you prioritize the children? Would you able to reduce the hours of work for children? I'll talk about that just after a while in this. Another topic is about in-laws. Brothers and sisters, in Islam, marriage is not just between husband and spouse. That may be in other cultures. But in Islam, we believe that in-laws are very important. Marriage is a connection between two families. That's why, and there's a balance here, is that doesn't mean also the in-laws will interfere in everything. No, that's not also Islamically. But that means you have to ask about her family. You have to ask about his family. Secondly, you have to ask about what's the relationship will be. Is there any respect? Because respecting in-laws is one of the criteria of Islam. So you can't marry, for example, as a brother, a woman, and the woman in the conversation said, I don't care about your family. I will not respect your mom. I don't care about them. That means not a good sign. What we need here is respect. Because there is a connection here. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, هو الذي خلق من الماء بشرا فجعله نسبا وصهرا. There's two main relationships in humanity. There is nasab, lineage, and there is in-laws, وصهرا. So when you connect to spouses, you connect to families. And these two families in Islam, that we need respect here. Again and again, that doesn't mean, as according to some cultures, that in-laws interfere in everything. We'll come to in-laws later in this series. What's their boundaries? But here I would say, in-laws, the husband especially, the leader of the house, should set the boundaries. If there is later conflict between your mom and your wife, you are the one who will solve that problem. Islam said respect your mom, absolutely, but also respect your wife. There's a boundary here. And we talk about that boundary when we come, inshallah, later, if Allah give us life. But here I would say, talk about first in-laws. If some of them said, no, I marry only you, I don't care about your family. Islam is connection between two families, marriage here. Unless there's isolation between the potential and his family long time ago, and it's a complicated issues and you can't connect, that's exception. Another also topic that you discuss in that is about the work for both genders. Because we have to know that when you get married, you have to know that you have to change your schedule. So for example, for the men, a man who works 12 hours day and night. And then after that 12 hours, he will go with his friends to Rosham Street till 1 o'clock. When you get married, you have to change this schedule. That's not a schedule of a married man. Or in a woman, she work hard also, and then will come for the both of them, they thought that now the house become just hotel. You came to the hotel, take rest, and go to the work again. So you have both to discuss this. Both of them, they have to know that when you get children, you have mutual responsibility, both of you. Why I say both? Because some men, they have this understanding of Islam that raising children is the role of women only. Men should not involve at all. And that brother will say, oh, what's your view about children? Oh, I want to have 10 children, 10 pious children. Okay, are you ready to involve in that? No, that's your role. It's not my role. So that also hidden narcissism. So you want children, but you are not ready to sacrifice your time for them. And that leads to absent father. Sometimes some fathers, they work hard. Why you don't give time to your children? I work just for them, to bring money to them. I want them to have a good life. That's good intention. But be aware that good life is not just about wealth. Your absence can damage them emotionally. They need your presence. Another also topic you should discuss here, that what about education for all children? In this country, there's a lot of challenges in education. Are you going to go to homeschooling, at least for the first years in primary school? What you will do with the Islamic schools, the memorizing Quran? This question is not just about question in the future, it's about how the potential think, the way he think towards this. That will show you a lot. So education of the children is a good topic that you discuss also, especially in this country. Another question that shows you also how they think is about, in the future, what do you think? Will we stay here in this country, or will you migrate to another Muslim country? Just to raise this question itself, it can tell you a lot of the way they think, the way they understand Islam, the way they understand reality, the way they concern about their children, a lot. So it's a good question to raise also. It's a good topic to talk about emotions and how can you control your emotions. Because we said that maturity, one of the criteria is to be emotional, to be mature emotionally. So give some case studies. What if I get angry? What's your reaction will be? Ask her or him. That's very important to know how he deal with his or her emotions, to just test the maturity in the emotional side. So hobbies, talking about hobbies is a good topic. Why? Because from that you can assess the maturity of social dimension. Sometimes some people, they just want to be alone. My only hobby is just to read all the time and not go out. I don't like to socialize with people, for example. Marriage is a mutual life. You want to socialize with someone else, and so on. So that's some questions you should discuss with your spouse. Nowadays, there is initiative called Zawaj cards. They try to help you with a lot of modern questions that you can ask the potential. Someone bring to me, but I didn't assess it. I'll talk about later if I go through it, inshallah. But anyway, it's a good idea because you need, by questions, you can understand many things. Now we'll come to, by the questions also you can assess also how the potential look at the opposite gender. Look, when we mentioned criteria in the last or previous lesson, take this criteria and through discussion you will assess this. So religiously, emotionally, socially, intellectually, the nature of opposite gender and the effect of modernity. Take this and try to assess it in the discussion. That will tell you a lot. But again and again and again, think rationally. Don't let emotion to guide you. Okay, now one of these criteria, we talk about intellectual, that can also, intellectual side, just about also discussion. What do you think about the challenges for Muslim in Western country nowadays? That's a good question. Because that will tell you the level of intellectual level. What the challenges of Muslims in Western country nowadays. What the challenges that the children will face nowadays. In this intellectual level, I will talk about one point. Sometimes if the educational level of the sister is high more than the educational level of brother, that may cause some problem. So suppose the sister has a PhD, for example, and the brother is just a college. That sometimes cause problems. Sometimes cause lack of compatibility. So be careful with that. Unless the character of the brother is so strong, that's different. But be aware about this point. Now we come to the last criteria, which is the effect of modernity. I'll talk about brothers first and then sisters second. About brothers, they always heard that feminism affect many women nowadays unconsciously. I'll talk to them after this. But in other side also, for men, they have some understanding of the role of men in the family or about the marriage, sometimes come from cultural background or misunderstanding of Islam. For example, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala give the qawama to the man. Qawama is leadership in family. Leadership is for men. Every institution should always have a leadership. And the leadership here is a man. Why? Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, because two reasons. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض وبما أنفقوا من أموالهم. Two reasons. The first reason is because men usually, when we come to the decision of divorce, they will think rationally, not emotionally. Women, how Allah created them, they have some period of the month, their hormone will go upside down. And they think emotionally that time. Allah Ta'ala give the divorce to the mouth of men to think rationally. When they want to give that, they will think carefully. But sometimes the woman, because of their nature is to be a mother. And to be a mother, she will go to that cycle month also. And sometimes the mood will change. That's not lack of her character. That's instead just preparation to the greatest role in the world after prophethood, which is motherhood. So number one, because you think rationally. That's why you are a leader. That means for brothers to think rationally. Take your responsibility. Don't take decisions out of emotions. The second reason why the qawama is in the hand of the men, Allah said, وَبِمَا أَنفَقُوا مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. In Islam, Financial responsibility is all in the hands of men. The man is the one who have to provide the dowry, provide the accommodation, provide the provision. Everything financially is in the shoulder of a man Islamically. That's why Allah gave him a qawama, a leadership. Now combine these two. When a man think about divorce, usually he should think rationally. Because he's the one who spent a lot. And if you want to finish this, he will lost a lot also. So he will think about that carefully. Also, he should always think rationally. We talk about the nature of men. They always want to fix a problem. So that's why they look at this problem very rationally. That's what should be. Because unfortunately, sometimes you find men, they don't think rationally. And one of the main phenomena now is that anger. Every time one came to the imam and, oh, I was very angry and give divorce. Is that count? I said to him, nowadays there's no divorce without anger. Vast majority of men, they will give divorce with anger. Don't think that because you are angry, your divorce is not valid. Don't think that. For the vast majority of scholars, if you are angry and give divorce, your divorce is valid. The only opinion in Hanbali madhab that when your anger is out of control, it means when you give and I ask you and you go to salah and I forget if I pray or not. When I ask you about the situation, tell me where is, in which room, what did you say? I don't remember even. That's out of control. That's not valid here. But just because you are angry, that doesn't mean your divorce is not valid. So be careful. So another problem here with this modernity with men, how they look at Islam. They try to utilize Islam for their benefit. That leadership for them is a good means for control. You know, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala told you to obey me. What's obedience for some men here? Obedience for some men means you can't say no in anything in this life. This is not obedience, this is worship. Even your parents, there'll come some time you can say no to them. When your parents force you to marry a specific so and so, it's not obligatory to obey them in this. So there is no full obedience. This is only for Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, not even for the parents. Obedience here means in main decisions. When there's a big conflict. One day a man came to me and he said, I asked my wife to bring a cup of tea and she refused. Will she be sinful? If you understand obedience like this is a big problem in understanding Islam itself. You understand me? So then Rasulullah ﷺ said that some of his wives, when she is angry, she doesn't talk to him all the day. Because you are spouses. One of you will get angry with other and doesn't want to talk. It's absolutely fine. So Qawama is protecting, supporting, serving, not just a means of control. Be aware about that. Children is not the responsibility of women only. You want kids, but you don't want to participate in raising those children. You want to be absent father. That's not from Islam. Maybe from a culture, from your mindset, from something else. Now we'll come to the woman. Women nowadays affect unconsciously sometimes with feminism. And that can rely in three issues. Number one is the qawama of the men. You know, some women, they understand this relationship between spouse as a battle. I want to win that battle. Why is a leader? What's this? I don't care. I don't believe in that. To respect to all my sisters, my daughters, let me tell you something. Nowadays we live in a time which media can shape our identity, our values. Don't forget that we are Muslims. Islam is the only one can shape our identity and values. When Allah Almighty said something, the believer will say, Sami'na wa ata'na. Otherwise, we worship our ego. If something is the Quran, we should say, Sami'na wa ata'na. Quran said that this institution of family should have a leader, and He put that leadership with the hand of men. Again, as I explained before, that doesn't mean control. It's supporting. But don't listen to some ideologies and think that's will. Don't let the modernity to tell you how that your value, it depends to your looks, to your raising your voice. Your value only come from the Quran. So number one, the leadership is in the hand of the men. Number two, the concept of motherhood. As some sisters, they look at the marriage is just, I don't want to get children. That will change, will affect my body shape, for example. If I want to get married, just one child, that's it. I don't like pregnancy. You have to sit with yourself, my daughter, my sister. I'll tell you something. The best role in this world after prophethood is motherhood. When Allah Ta'ala want to explain for us His mercy, He chose a mother to be an example. The mercy of mother towards her children is the best example for mercy in this world. The best role you can serve this ummah is to raise your children in the best way. You are the heart beating of family. You are the source of warmth in family. Without you, family will damage, collapse. Mother is something very, all the Hajj now, pilgrimage is very, all Muslims, they went to Hajj and when come to Tawaf and go to Sa'i, they go to imitate a woman long time ago, Hajar. That woman who take care of her child, Ismail. Allah Ta'ala make Zamzam just for her. Command all the men to run in the path that the Hajar run. That's how Islam value the mother. So don't forget that your main job in family is to raise children. And when you raise that, does not limit your capacity. That's what honor you. Allah Ta'ala talk about you many times, and whenever He talk about parents, He will prioritize mother first. Why? Because you did a great job. So my sisters, my daughters, when you get married and you get children, you have to prioritize. If you have a job, think of reducing the hours of job. Or pause that job for a while till you take care of your children. We are Muslims. We are unique. Everyone has a role in that family and we complete each other. Lastly, so we talk about the qawama, about the concept of motherhood. Lastly, in-laws. Sometimes a sister said, I just want just me and him. I don't care about his family. That's not in Islam also. Islam is say that in-laws is very important. Yes, Islam, if the in-laws interfere your private life, Islam has a boundary for that. But respect is very, very vital in Islam. That's some of the, and during the series, we'll inshallah do some also effect of this modernity later, inshallah ta'ala. In the end, again and again, when you want to look for your spouse, think rationally. Let your mind to set in the front, not your emotions. Otherwise, you'll regret. Wallahu alam wa sallallahu ala abdi rasul sayyidina. For next time, I will go to fiqh issue more. Next time, I will talk about what's the boundaries. How can you talk to your potential? I'll talk about the websites that you can find your potential, about the family looking for your potential. What if I find the potential at university? What's the boundaries here Islamically? That's our next topic, inshallah ta'ala. In 2 minutes.